Hi everybody, I'm Allesandro Malerba from Italy, le terre di Zoe. So I'd like to introduce my company. We are an organic farm in south of Italy, exactly in Calabria. In Limbadi we have fields. We have 15 hectares of fields cultivated in kiwi, clementine, orange, bergamot, and so on. We are a farmer at first and also a transformer because we have a lab in the field and we transform this fruit into juice, into jam, into olive oil. We have some tests there of our juice. And our strength is that we produce the fruit and we transform the fruit into 24 hours after catching. That's our company, is a family company. On the left we have the main producer, the farmer, my father-in-law Mimmo. Then my wife Rosaria with 2 employees. She's the part of lab. She's the wizard that make the jam and the juice. And marketing says no one below me. I'm alone, but it's okay. Hopla. And these are the important things. There is the field. So in the center there is our building, and then we have the 15 hectares of plants. Now let's go to innovation, because we have many challenges in our farm. We have many ways to improve our business, and thanks to CoFresh and to our partners, so we try to do something different. We have the first innovation is to save the water, because at the moment we manage the water in manual way, and we have an idea of how many liters of water we consume for each irrigation. But this innovation is so important to understand and to rationalize the consumption of the water. So in this innovation we have Mimmo, the experience, Pepe is the power, and Eris and Nico are the new intelligence with Fint. And the important thing is the sensor. Keep in mind that the sensors are the really important things. So our challenge is at first to save water, reduce the cost of electricity, because to pump the water we need power, and also to reduce the labor time to Pepe, me, and Mimmo. So we need to manage better the irrigation. To achieve this target, we need a controller. At first we did a project with Fint to do the strategy, how we want to move in the field. So we need a controller, we need the 2 sensors, and the target is to compare 2 similar fields with the same number of plants, more or less the same area, to compare if we irrigate in Mimmo's way, so in traditional way, against Fint way, the new intelligence. And so we check every time the soil temperature, the soil moisture, air temperature, and give the right water in the Fint area. Okay. So it's important to see the first impact of this innovation. Every week we check these 2 areas, and in automatic field, as you can see, we save in 8 times irrigation 24% of water. So it's also 24% of power, and is a very good result. We check daily, not daily, but weekly, the soil moisture of these 2 areas. And it's very important that no humidity goes under 20%. So that's our parameters to check if we are working well or not. But the important thing is the fruit. So we also check the status of the fruit. Weekly, every morning, I go to check. I take 2 samples of fruit, one in area 1 in Fint. Harry, can I say that's a Fint field?
It's co-fresh.
Co-fresh, okay, okay, the innovation. A1 against A2 from the beginning to last week, more or less, and there is a good improve of the fruit. So with less water, the fruit grow better. That's an example, but that's give us the idea that we are working in the right way. But that's the first step, because now we have to understand if the fruit in A1 is compared to A2 is okay, is good. So the taste, the sugar inside, the size, because it's very important also the size of the fruit to sell better the product. So we did this 3 step: compare the quality of the fruit, compare the quantity of the fruit, and compare the size of the fruit. If everything is okay, we can say that this innovation is very good for us, because we saw that the number of save water and save engine we achieved. Now we have to see the quality of the fruit. The second innovation is to study better the clementine, because everyone knows the benefit of lemon, orange, bergamot, pomegranate, and so on. But from clementine, there is no, how can I say, not a good culture or idea. So we are going in this innovation. We studied first the benefit of the clementine, and then we study a marketing campaign to do an effort, so the clementine power, we called. As I told you, the lack of popularity of clementines are not so good, and so our challenge is to change this kind of idea. We also think to create a better customer reputation about the juice, and for this we think to increase our sellout. So, thanks to CNTA, there is a study of clementine compared to other citrus. And in this data, we can see that clementine has a better, higher level of flavonoids and also polyphenols. And that's good for several, for health, about some chronic disease. And this is the sentence, that we can use to communicate to our consumer and also to our retailer and reseller. Because le terre di Zoe sales are divided in 3 steps: B2B, B2C, and e-commerce. And so we need to communicate in different way to different people. But the real important message is this one, that also clementine has benefit better than orange, lemon, and pomegranate, as CNTA tested. So we talk to again, because you have the impact of the clementine power has to begin to be in your mind. So we talk to Lucent, a marketing company, and with them we compare our brand to other farm, and they suggest us some improvement. First of all, they improve the new label with some sentences. In this case, it's in Italian, but the fruit is has not to be good looking, but the fruit has to be good. So that's our philosophy. It's important that also the consumer knows that if you want a good product, you have to taste it, and it's not only the good looking, okay? The other thing is the story of the farm, of the farm. So the traditional, the idea of Mimo, the family, that we do everything handmade and we check all the steps of the products, from the fruit to the packaging and to the logistic way. So we are going to change our label. The next step in this case are only in marketing and communication. So we are going, I did this weekend an exhibition in Cesena in which we launched the flyer with Clementine Power. We began to do some dissemination, but we have to do in a very strictly way.
Alessandro consists in the valorizing of the byproducts from clementine juice production and the development of a new beverage. And this has been carried out in collaboration between Unibo, the Terre obviously, and CNTA. If you can move the slide on. Okay, it's well known that the production of juices such as clementine produce a huge amount of residues. Just to give some figures, only 30% of the processed fruits result in the juice, while over 60% is the residues, which is mainly composed of the peel, but also contains pulp and seeds. So considering that over 3 tons of clementine are used by the Terre di Zoiba each year to produce the juice, the amount of residues which is generated each year, it's really high. Usually these residues are used for animal feeding or energy production, but at Zoe, these are used for agronomic uses, since the production of energy is not profitable, since it is a rather small company. So the challenge is mainly to valorize better, find a better valorization of these residues in order to increase the sustainability of the production process of the clementine juice, and also trying to address the zero waste target. On the other side, as Alessandro already said, one key point for the company is to increase the market share through new products. So we have combined these two aspects, and the solution which has been put in place is to start from the byproducts to attain an added value ingredient to be used for a new beverage. And this innovation combines two different strategies. The first one is to develop a biotechnological process to valorize the byproducts, and the second one is the formulation of the beverage. So moving to the first one, the biotechnological valorization, we have developed a process which includes basically a mild pre-treatment of the clementine byproducts, followed by microbial fermentation with some safe microorganisms, basically yeast and lactic acid bacteria. These with the aim to produce added value ingredients. It's important to say that the mild pretreatment requires low energy, while microbial fermentation is generally considered sustainable, since microorganisms do not require chemicals, and also they work at a mild environmental condition. So based on the results of our study, we found out that the fermentation with the properly selected strains of the selected microorganisms resulted in higher contents of the total phenolic compounds of the clementine byproducts, which, as Alessandro already said, are endowed with several healthy benefits. And also, an interesting aspect that we have highlighted is that the non-thermal technology stimulated somehow the metabolic activities of the microorganisms. So at the end, this resulted in increased accumulation of some components like vitamin C, beta carotene, again, the total phenolic components, and so an overall increased antioxidant activity of the fermented byproducts. So once we have obtained this fermented byproduct with enhanced bioactivity, we have moved to the second strategy. So we have used it to formulate some new drinks, a new beverage. So we have tested it in different recipe by targeting basically two different type of beverages. So from one side, a vegetable juice made of plant-based milk, plant species, in particular cinnamon, and the functional ingredient. And the second beverage is based on a formulation already developed by the Terre di Zoe. So an ace juice, Allesandro, which has been biofortified with the functional ingredient. So this is the second beverage. And so different recipe which have been appreciated by some panel test with some consumer. So moving to the next slide.
Yeah.
So overall, our value proposition was successful since the biotechnological approach that we have developed within an idea of circular bioeconomy allowed to produce, to transform a byproduct into a fermented product with the several bioactivities, and we have used it to formulate at least two beverages which have been which deliver these bioactivities and at the same time have been appreciated based on our sensory assessment for the taste, the aroma, and this has been done with a limited number of consumers, so needs some improvements. And this is the basis for the next step. I don't know, Alessandro, if you want to present this.
Yeah, the next step is to create these two drinks and to communicate these two drinks to our customer in different way depending on the kind of the customers. So B2B, B2C or e-commerce. That's all. Thank you.